Now, I have to make this video real quick because I'm on my 30-minute break from work at FedEx Ground because they working us into the ground. Oh my gosh. You know, I like the extra hours and everything, but just a 30-minute break after having to be at work at 12 o'clock and get off at 5 and then only 30 minutes to come back in there at 5:30. You know what? I'm gonna take my time on my break. I'm gonna take my time. But that's not why I'm here today. The reason why I'm here today to share this video with y'all is that I'm upset. Like, I am really upset right now. Throughout this week, right, on my Instagram, I've been having an ongoing conversation with someone that recently inspired me as far as getting in shape, becoming a pro in women's bodybuilding, because that's one of my goals that I want to attain. But this individual and I, we had a back and forth conversation about the COVID-19, and how this got started is that on her IG story, she put up a little story about how the COVID-19 isn't that serious, basically saying it's 0.01% chance of getting it, or getting it, and there is a 0.1 chance dying from it, basically. And when I looked at that, and then also at the bottom of it said hashtag reopen. And when I looked at that, I was like, okay, I get the percentages are kind of low, but you have to take into account that this COVID-19 is highly contagious, and it's spreading like wildfire to a number of people because they not social distancing themselves. So you want to reopen the country because there's a low percent chance of actually dying from it. I beg to differ on that. I mean, you might not die from it personally. Someone you care about might not die from it personally, but someone else might die from it because they're in the high risk category. And then on top of that, they might not even have to be high risk because we're learning that young people are dying of this thing too. So you want to reopen the country. You want to reopen the country and not have widespread testing. What is the logic in that? I don't understand the logic in that. Opening shit up and then not testing people on a massive scale to find out who got what, so we can kind of quarantine these people out. Because last time I checked, this virus does not have a cure. There is no treatment for it. They're only telling you to quarantine yourself, and if you have a headache from it or whatever, take some aspirin type of thing. But there ain't no treatment to kind of help you get over it. Your body just basically has to fight through it and everything. And hopefully you have the body that can fight through it. But a lot of the people apparently don't have that. And last time I checked, there's about 50,000 Americans that have passed away from this virus. I repeat, there's been about 50,000 Americans that have passed away from this virus. So you want to open things up. Okay, go right ahead and be foolish and open things up, and then potentially get yourself exposed and then expose someone else. Oh, but this individual also went on to say that that yours truly is brainwashed. I'm brainwashed. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's something else going on besides a lot of people dying, a lot of people contracting this. There's something else going on. Oh, this is just the flu type of thing. No, this is not the flu. I had the flu before. I've been sick before with the flu, and I felt bad, and I got over it. And then that told me from here on out to get my flu shot, get the vaccine. The flu changes, there's different strands and everything like that, but the flu is manageable. COVID-19 isn't manageable if you happen to roll that dice. Basically, you're playing Russian roulette. You're basically playing Russian roulette, because if you get that shit, like I said before in some of my other videos, you can have no symptoms at all, you can have mild symptoms, or you can have serious symptoms. And I would say the serious symptom is that you can't fucking breathe. You having trouble breathing where you gotta be hooked up to a ventilator. So this individual that I'm talking about, they just came across totally ignorant to me. Because the last thing that I shared with them is that, like, you know, my mom works for the VA up in Massachusetts. And she's basically, like, you know, near the front lines. And she told me to make sure I protect myself at my idiotic workplace at FedEx Ground. Make sure I wear my mask and keep my distance from individuals. Now, she's a head nurse, so if she telling me that means this is serious. This is like no joke. But you got some ignorant people out here, out in this world, just like, you know, just completely clueless and ignorant. And I don't have time for ignorant people. I do not have time for ignorant people. So I told about my mom, and then I also shared with her that, like, you know, my father, he's 67 years old, and he's a diabetic, and so he's, like, you know, in a high risk category, so he can't be out and about and anything. Oh, but this individual, like, you know, says, oh, you know, laugh out loud type of thing, right? Like, laugh out loud type of thing. Okay. And so they go on to finally, after the next day that they say to me, that they texted me, is like, oh, lost my train of thought. Okay, so I tell them be safe and everything like that, and then they're like, we don't have to, because simply there's no such thing. It is simply the flu. I pray you all stay safe and start to see the true story of what is happening around us. I can't deal with ignorant people. I just can't, because that is just ignorant. This is the flu. This is the flu. From her, you know, knowledge, this is the flu. Nah, sugar, this ain't the flu. This ain't the flu. This is something else. And I am sorry that you can't see that, but go with God, as they